line to kind of get your insight into the business in depth.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you, Wayne. Yeah, we definitely had to pivot and interview you the other day, maybe like 6 to 8 weeks ago when we had similar situation. I guess it's my turn, so all good. But hi everybody. I've been in this business for 4.5 years. At this point, I've been licensed for 4.5 years. So renewed my license twice already. So did the ethics course twice already. And second time around is I was already with Family First Life, had licenses in many different states, obviously, renewed it with many states, which, that's when I was operating, I guess, on the higher level, being a broker, and we all blessed to have access to so many great carriers, so many tools. I hear it, all the time. Even this morning on one of the chats on one of the teams, I saw that the guy sold the policy to a daughter of one insurance agent that been in the business for 10 years and couldn't really help his own daughter get that great of a policy because he's captive. So, and obviously we have amazing opportunity here. But I've been captive agent for about 12 months with a company that we represent here as a broker as well. Great products, great everything, great mentorship. But I guess the setup I was in was meant to be for experienced agents with books of business. So what I did is I quit my full-time job because my wife was pregnant and she was going to lose her $45,000 a year income, and I was hoping to earn more. So I got myself licensed, got hired by a company. They told me I'm going to make a lot of money. So I said, yes, of course, I want to earn a lot of money. So I joined them, find myself in the situation of not really being able to create the momentum necessary to provide for my family and to make enough money. So I got behind the idea of driving Uber and trying to pitch insurance to my passengers. So and that wasn't working, obviously. So they didn't really care. But at the same time, I still kept doing insurance, had my real estate license, rented some apartments, and still was not enough, wasn't really clicking. And at that time, already, I guess, in that next summer after I got my license, we had our first child, and my wife was staying home, sending letters to my insurance clients, to my book of business that my company provided to me, that and hoping that they're gonna respond and buy more insurance. When I meet with them, they'll ask me if they can reduce their $45 a month premium because they couldn't keep up with this. So that's the type of book I had in Chicago, and my wife would post a bunch of listings so I can rent more apartments. So it was pretty much 24/7 for both of us, and that got me to start thinking that what I want to do next. And I found Family First Life, saw it on LinkedIn, saw the guy traveling all over the place, showing some insane numbers, which is not insane at the end of the day. Now that I know anybody can do this, but at that time, I issued shy of 40,000, and I had to resign from my company, because my manager approached me and said, "Hey, you are $1,200 short to hit 40,000 issue paid in 12 months. So if you're not gonna resign yourself, they're gonna fire you." And they essentially, it's not gonna be good for me either. So and I'm like, okay, I understand totally. And I saw the guy doing 10-15,000 a week, traveling, selling insurance where I've done 39,000 in 52 weeks. So, and I'm like, wow, okay, that must be something special. So I kept following Family First Life, kept plugging in, jumping on all kinds of different meetings, opportunity meetings and whatnot, and made up my mind 4 months in, made a jump, and never looked back.
So back up a little bit. I guess the first stop, when you say followed family first, kept following family first life, how long before your initial contact for those people that are recruiting might be looking for the next dive, and how long before your initial contact till you actually decided to come over? How much time it lapsed?
Well, it was 4 months. So as soon as I learned about this opportunity through LinkedIn, I guess I followed a couple of the pages there, and one of the agencies noticed that, and they called me right away. So I did talk to them, and of course I said yes, 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 yes to everything. But when I got off the phone and reality settled, in, and I'm like, okay, what am I doing next? Well, I was my thought process was this. I was waking up at 4:30 to drive Uber till 9, to go to insurance office until 12, to go rent apartments until 5, to drive Uber until 9, right? So can I fit in one more thing in my schedule? Probably not. And I wasn't really, gonna quit anything, because honestly at that time Uber paid my bills. Uber paid all my bills. And by the way, I can draw a similarity here, because I'll be hanging out at the O'Hare Airport a lot, trying to pick up a fare, talking to other Uber drivers. Guess what Uber drivers talk to each other about? How much money you make? What's the best practices? Which area you want to hang out in? What time to go where? So, and a lot of people I talked to, they said that they're making 5, 6, 700 bucks a week or less doing Uber. I was doing 1,200 bucks doing Uber. So, and the difference was I was working weekends and nights. I think we can draw a parallel here and say it's pretty applicable to our situation here as well.
100%. That's crazy.
So, but yeah, and then it took me 4 months. So I was part of the Facebook group, I believe, and well, mostly LinkedIn. I think I utilized that resource, and I was part of the email drip. So they kept sending me the numbers. I kept looking at them. So, in the 4 months later, recruiter called me. I was on the same parking lot at O'Hare, waiting for my next passenger, feeling sorry for myself. And he called me up and very assumptively said, "Okay, Ivan, so you forgot to sign this, probably. So you ready to get going?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And somehow it clicked, and I actually followed the direction. I signed the affidavit, something we used back in the day to sign up a new agent. And I signed it, and I started the contracting process the next day. And there was about 2 weeks of the time until I got my first writing numbers. By the time I got my first writing number with Mutual of Omaha, that was the first carrier I wrote for pretty much consistently 4 or 5 weeks. And when we're waiting for a long time for our contracting numbers or writing numbers, and it's way too long. I think it's really not. I think we improved a lot, and I only had one writing number first 3 weeks. Then I got AIG. So basically the 2 weeks before I got them, I just learned as much as possible. I just went through a version of the boot camp we had, and by the very last Saturday, I peeled off the stupid Uber sticker off my windshield, threw it out the window on the interstate, saying no more, and quit all other jobs. Said, I'm going all in, and just went to the office and started dialing.
Got it. Real quick, just as an aside, before Uber, before Family First Life, you're obviously, well, it's not obvious to everybody, but because I know how long you've been with FFL for 4 years, how long have you been in the US?
It was 12 days ago, it would be 11 years.
So you've been here 11 years. 11 years ago, when you moved to the US, what was that? What was that transition like? Any English?
No.
Did you speak no English at all?
Well, I mean, let me just tell you like what kind of English I spoke. I could probably understand decent portion. I've learned English in school, which gave me nothing. I just knew the terms because I went to school to get my degree in the mechanical engineering. So it was very technical English, where I knew what the turbine is, what the steam is, and what electric current is, and that type of stuff. I knew the verb, I knew how to read it, so I can read any kind of manuals, but I couldn't really speak. So I landed in New York, so which is pretty significant. Anytime I talk to Mark, I'm like, it's not a
Yeah, it's
coincidence.
small
We
world.
connected. So, but I landed in New York, New Jersey. Took a shuttle to New York City to spend my next 4 days there. That was the plan, just to enjoy, and after I finished my semester, just enjoy 4 days. And since we didn't know what's going on, we booked the hostel, we booked the bed, and three of my friends in Harlem, New York. So ended up there with no internet, no nothing. So and just were completely lost. Didn't really know what to do. And whenever I remember walking into the Starbucks and knowing that you have to pay for the Wi-Fi everywhere you go back home. So I picked up a gift card, the Starbucks gift card, and I thought that's how you purchase Wi-Fi. So there, this kind of similar looking cards are everywhere in cafes and restaurants back where I'm from, and you have to pay for them, and then you can use the unique code to use the Wi-Fi. So I thought the gift cards were the Wi-Fi password or the Wi-Fi code. I was trying to buy
Got
it,
it.
and the lady would ask me, "How much do you want to put on it?" And I'm like, "What?" She'd be, "How much you want to put on it?" And I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on here." So, and then I explained that I need an internet. She's like, "Okay, no problem." She helped me connect to the internet. She said it's free. I'm like, "Wow, that's cool." So, but no English at all.
Got it. So no English 11 years ago, 4 years at FFL. Last year, the first ever to hit Hall of Fame as a personal producer and as an agency in the same year.
Yes.
Okay. So what's that? That's quite an accomplishment, especially understanding what the landscape looks like. Um, what does that look like day to day from a scheduling perspective? Because obviously we dial as a new agent, we talk about dialing on Mondays and Thursdays to run appointments. You also built and ran a pretty sizable agency to accomplish that in the same year. What does your schedule look like from a
Yeah.
Hall of Fame perspective, an agency manager?
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, I'll give you the full schedule from the time I wake up because I think it's pretty important. So, um, and I think I'll bring more value if I'll say that if I'll open up that time between 5 and 8 o'clock before we start dialing, right? So the day starts at 5 or earlier. Um, it's a quick exercise or stretch, then a little bit of the reading or listening. So and then sometimes well, later in that year, obviously we had kids already. I had to combine mix and match while exercising. You can listen to the audiobook or whatever else you're trying to pick up, and then looking at like financial statements, bank statements, figuring out what's going on, right? So I think that's pretty important piece. You got to be very intentional about your goals. So therefore, I would just kind of work on my mindset, look at that, look at some of the emails probably starting at about 6 o'clock. I'm trying not to grab the phone until 6 o'clock at all and not use it, because that would get me distracted. So I mean, like once I enter my email and start answering, all the emails should be like half hour until I pick up until I lift my head. So and first hour is my personal hour when I try to get in better physical shape, get better mentally. And then 6 to 7 is really that routine that would be usually 7:30 to 8:30 5 years ago for me. Just regular stuff. Shower, getting kids ready, um, packing them in my wife's car so they can go to school. And usually I'll be in my car by 7:15 to pick up something to eat, and then head to the office. If it's a dial day, to be in the office by 7:30. Uh, get the leads ready by 7:45 and start dialing 7:45 till 8 o'clock. Dialing till 12 to 1 o'clock, $50 an hour. Uh, quick agency call along with, and I know we probably moved it. I don't remember exactly when the call was, so don't quote me on that. But whenever we ran the agency call on a dial day, it would be half hour. And if I'm not participating in a call actively as I am today, maybe like, utilizing that time to take notes and eat at the same time. Because I mean, there's not a single minute wasted. I'm not eating when I'm dialing. I'm not eating when I'm working. I'm eating when I'm learning. Probably. I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do or not, but I'm not. I'm trying to get back on the phones as soon as possible. So hopefully, I need only 2-3 hours to book my appointments or less. And sometimes I'll be booked by midday. And then at that point, just working on hiring staff, working coaching or training staff, reaching out to agents or hiring agents. So, I mean, I was never, I guess good or, I've done some hiring myself, but I mean, I like and enjoy working with agents that actually join already. So, but I think last year, yeah, we consistently had a recruiter or two on the team. So, and basically I'll be wrapping up my office day by around 7 o'clock, I want to say. And the following 2 days is the appointments, and those are true full days, probably, same thing in the morning, then heading out to my first appointment, probably leaving house a little early or around the same time, depends. So have I ran 7 a.m. appointments? Yes, I did. I ran them plenty, and they're actually really good. 7 a.m. appointments during the week are the best. So, and then Thursday, same thing again. And you know what? I just don't even know what else to add, Wayne, because it's really that simple.
Yeah,
There's three things that make you money. Dialing the phone, sitting with clients, or recruiting agents.
got it. Now that's pretty intentional, and obviously a testament to the growth that you saw and continue to see throughout 2020 in the first quarter. How does that differ from what it looked like in the beginning, like that first couple of months? How's your schedule different now than it was then, and what are some of the things that you had to kind of get rid of and implement to get to a Hall of Fame producer and to start to build an agency?
Well, just to clarify a question, now versus two
Now
months
versus
ago
when you first started.
when I first started. Okay. Yeah, 100%. So when I got started, I would still make it to the office by 8 o'clock once I realized that's actually the key and that's the money making activity that we have to do, whether we like it or not, showing that discipline. So I'd still make it to 8 o'clock, to be honest with you. That wasn't different for me, but what was different is I wasn't waking up at 5 o'clock for sure. So, it's not like I haven't done it before. I've woke up at 4:30 to drive Uber, but you know, ever since I shifted from the schedule of working 90 hours a week to working 70 hours a week with Family First Life and before 3 jobs. So kind of got me a little bit soft. I was I didn't I didn't I didn't think I really need to wake up at 4:30 to get the results, and to make sure that um the first full year I've issued 500,000, but as long as you're in the office at 8 o'clock and dialing until you're done and going through all the appointments, you can hit that. But trying to grow the business at the same time, not waking up super early was that difference maker, because I'd make it to the office by 8, but I probably wouldn't eat, and then if my wife's busy, she couldn't bring me food until 11 or whatever she was doing. I'd be hungry, I'd be distracted. I'd be sometimes even heck thinking, okay, I'm so hungry, I gotta go and grab the breakfast, would waste half an hour. I'd show up at 8, but I'll take a break between 9 and 9:30 to just eat. That's
Mhm.
and if I'll make it like barely make it to 8 o'clock, then I'd be in the rush. My mindset wouldn't be right. It'd be right to just dial the phone, but not to dial the phone and build the business. I hope that makes sense.
Right. No, it does. It does. Now, when you started hiring, when did you start hiring, and what were some of those initial steps that you did? Because I know a lot of people are saying I don't really know a whole lot, so I'm gonna wait until I get good to start hiring, or I just got it started myself. When's a good time to start hiring?
Yeah.
When did you and how did you start that process?
Yeah, so I was working out of somewhat of a office environment. So the apartment complex I used to live in had a really nice conference room with all amenities. So I definitely utilized that. So so I don't have to dial from home. So that definitely made a difference on, on how many appointments I can book. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, that's, I taught that it's a good enough place to actually bring some agents in and hang out with. So it was like, it was really nice looking, and it wasn't really an office though. But I basically I posted a few Craigslist ads and see if anybody would respond, and I would start working the warm market. I'd hire anybody and everybody I can that I knew from my previous company, that I knew through personal connections. And honestly, I did hire a guy that I knew through a mutual friend, and he didn't do too good. He didn't follow the process. He sold the policy, and I have to give him credit. He reinvested money back in the leads, but wasn't really plugging in, and he got out of business. And it was my wife's friend that connected us. So she was kind of mad at me. She's like, "Hey, this dude quit his job and didn't make it happen. Can you quit talking to my friends?" So she's more social than me, I guess. So, and anyway, I didn't really have many friends, but I stopped doing that. But then and also I hired 4 guys off the Craigslist, which all of them came to dial with me, and then they all quit. And basically I stopped hiring at that point. So I'm like, I don't want responsibility. I can predictably dial, go out and produce just enough to pay all the bills, and really get buy anything we want. So, and that's when it was kind of back and forth for me, and just kind of dealing with yourself, dealing with the chargebacks, and basically your mindset and your mental well-being, just trying to keep it straight. I'm like, you know what, I don't need an additional headache. So I started, and then I stopped.
Yeah, I did the same thing. And I think a lot of people experience that. But if we can alleviate that for somebody, because the reason for me that I started and stopped is, and you may be different, is because I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that when I come into the business, we get paid 2 days later. And then when you bring somebody into the business, that same buy-in doesn't happen within 2 days. That same gratification and feel from hiring that person doesn't happen within 2 days. It's very much delayed gratification that happens down the line. And I think that for a lot of new agents that say, I want to build an agency, they either are afraid to start because they think that it's them, that it has to be them and not rely on the system enough, or they hire a person, that person doesn't go right $5,000 in their first week, and they're like, okay, it doesn't work. It's not for me. Somebody else should build an agency, and I'm just going to keep writing. So I don't think that that's different. And then I mean, I started with Craigslist too. And I think it's a great place that we don't talk about enough for somebody to get in and get some people going or get some people on board without having an overhead or that monthly obligation to one of the that different recruiting engines that we use. So I mean, fast forward to obviously today, you're talking to a lot of new agents, getting them started, talking to a lot of existing agents, helping people build their agency. What are some of the conversations specifically for new agents that you focus on early on to make sure that they pick up from the beginning, to help prepare them for this career or the road that's ahead of them?
Well, as of late, I was very intentional to talk to them about putting their own oxygen mask on,
Mm, I
and
love that theory.
yeah. So because at the end of the day, I mean, would our agency grow if everybody's going to be hiring? Yes, without a doubt. But I mean, we most definitely wanted to do it the right way, which is if you're not selling, you shouldn't hire. If you're not selling, you shouldn't hire. And I know we don't want to be this MLM type of structured deals where everybody's hiring, nobody's producing anything. We've never been that way, but at, the end of the day, in order to do it right, can you, if you have a strong war market, and if you feel like you have a lot of people in your war market that be interested, and they, that they can make it happen too, don't wait, hire them. But if you're not going to sell yourself, then it's going to be pretty difficult to build, because I burned through so much money in the last 3 years. It's unbelievable. Was every effort productive? No, but I've learned so much, and if I didn't produce as much as I produced, if I did both, it would just kind of distort my focus, and I wouldn't do both things right. Because at the end of the day, like, I think can everybody recruit? Yes. Some better than others. Can everybody sell? Yes. But my way of building this business was to sell a lot and outsource a lot of the things I'm not good at. So, and at the end of the day, I tell everybody now that I work with directly, let's get you to sell. Even if somebody's saying, I want to hire, I want to recruit, I want to build an agency, that's great. That's awesome. Let's just get you out in the field and get you to sell first. And it makes no sense to try to hire some people and hurt them in the process, because you don't even know what it is. Can you plug them into the system? Yes. But what I see a lot also, some managers hire agents and they think that they're the key differentiator for them. They're gonna be training them. They're gonna be giving them their time. No, guys, please, just step back a little bit. Just plug them in the system. Let them show what they've got. So, because if you're just gonna talk them into doing this on a daily basis, nothing's good gonna happen. So all you can do is, you're gonna say, Wayne, let's all work this holiday weekend. People are home. If you haven't done it in the past yourself, you have zero right to say that. You have zero right to say that. And you're a hypocrite if you're trying to get people out in the field and show them, hey, go sell. But I know you will be in the field this weekend, so you have every right to say, okay, look, guys, let's do it. So that's the way I see our business, like, just leading by example, selling and hiring, getting people from not knowing Family First Life to knowing Family First Life, and see what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that I do. I think that that's key. The selling and hiring, we used to talk a lot about walking and chewing gum. And I think for a lot of people, what you have to realize is that once you start hiring, you're going to need to start adding pieces. So that 15,000 is not only to keep you afloat, but to start to put you on the path to funding your business, because with that comes an admin, which comes a salary, because nobody's going to work for free. And then there's that old adage that the people that you hire are going to do half of what you do. And if you're not putting in at least the activity to get started, like you haven't bought in and at least putting in the activity to plug somebody into the system, like he said, how are you going to sell somebody something that you haven't bought into or believe in yourself? So that's huge. And that's one of the reasons that we talk a lot about leads, dials, and appointments, because the activity kind of speaks to itself. And there's no way, using a gym analogy, there's no way that you do, we say 300 dials a dial session, that you do 300 push-ups a day and don't get in shape over the course of time. So those 300 dials are going to lead you to appointments that are going to lead you to a place where you feel comfortable and confident talking to somebody about a system, because you've edified it, in addition to seeing it edified over and over again, even though you may not have experienced the success, because there's enough success around you that you can highlight and showcase to sell somebody on the business, which is honestly a great segue, because I know you've seen the evolution over time, from the podcast, not the podcast, from the call-in trainings to the podcast to this social media presence that we have now. As that continues to evolve, for people that are secret agents, how has social media, Facebook, Instagram, like, how has that changed the face of your business? And how can a new agent use social media to kind of help build themselves, their business, and get the most out of this opportunity, period.
Yeah, well, it's yeah, the social media is definitely huge when it comes to recruiting, and I think it's actually one of the best tools, if not the best tool out there. So, I mean, just to give you perspective, just because we mass posting on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and sending direct mail campaigns, our office generated 66 leads last month, 66 organic leads last month, just because we are very active. So we post to Instagram stories, we post on my personal page, we post in a group, we post on Instagram through two different pages. We do post through my personal profile and business page on LinkedIn, and we just hammer email marketing, and as the time goes by, we're growing our email database, and we're sending more and more and more and more and more messages to those people. And my phone number is there, my cell phone number, so whenever people like had enough watching everybody's success, they text me. They say, "Hey, Ivan, you've been emailing us for a long time now. We are ready." So, and it's just, I remember myself, again, as I said, waiting for 4 months. I don't expect everybody to be ready today. So, but I want to stay in touch. That piece, the marketing piece, which is a lead warmer, I call it the lead warmer. You got to keep warming up those leads. As you know, and with insurance sales, it's a little bit easier, right? Because everybody that filled out a form for life insurance, the urgency is there, and obviously, as long as you can figure out that they have no insurance or they're not in a good position, you can sell them insurance. With recruiting, it's a little bit different. People always poking at different things, and they always wanted to improve their life, not necessarily they're ready to jump off the cliff and join the company right away. So sometimes I see that one person I've been in touch over the text message and phone calls, because it's a war market person, joined us 3 years later after I kept poking at her all the time. So, and she's and obviously she's still dealing with some stuff, and she's still not fully on board. I'm not giving up. I call her here and there. So that's really the purpose of that, is getting people to see how amazing this thing is, and you never know who's watching. So I think I've learned that from one of the Family First Life corporate staff members that's in their IT and media department, that said, he brought up the example. I think I heard that about a year and a half ago, that this post that they made from Family First Life corporate page on Facebook only had 3 likes. But if you look in the back of it, how many people actually seen the post, it's an enormous amount. And instead of hitting like, they actually hit the button, contact us. So he's like, don't be afraid to post. And even if the post don't get the likes, you can, or some activity, some visible activity, you still getting the message out there. You still very, and the more people see, the more they believe, and eventually they're going to contact you. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, when I saw the 66 leads from this activity last month, I was kind of shocked. And we're just getting started, because next thing we all going to do, guys, and if you're not on TikTok, Gary V I listen to him all the time. Even the year ago, I heard him saying, TikTok. It's not the, it's not the, it's not the network for little kids anymore. It's the actual valuable tool that can replace all social media soon. So, I mean, if you guys not on TikTok, explore and just start creating content, whatever that is. Kimber, you drive in the car now saying, "Hey, just ran my appointments, put some music in the background. You have your kids there. Here's how much I wrote. You want to join, and just do it 3-4 times a day. We'll do the job nicely." So TikTok, team's growing like a Tesla stock. So I don't know where I heard that from, but
Got it. No, that's huge. I remember Gary Vee said that too. And I think social media is kind of a way to be passive aggressive with the recruiting, because you can post a lot and be in everybody's face without saying, "Hey, come talk to me about insurance." And over time, your inbox will start to kind of light up with people like, hey, what's that mean? Hey, is that
Yeah.
real? Hey, what's this all about? And I've had countless, and for me, I did it kind of passively. Um, I I did it kind of passively over the years, and recently over the course of probably the last 3 months, I've had 10, 15 people from my warm market reach out to me. A couple of them flew down to Florida to kind of just sit down and pick it apart. And I think the other thing that it does for new people is it gives you access to literally everybody in the country. So every top producer from every brand new person, literally anybody across the country is just a click away. So all you have to do, if you see them doing something or see them talking about something, just click on their name, message them, and ask a question. They'll respond. It may be a day, but they're going to get back to you because that's the culture here at Family First Life.
100%, Wayne. And I wanted to add just a couple things just to kind of get everybody thinking on what it takes to build the online presence with traditional social media platforms to
Yeah,
get
versus
that amount of
TikTok.
leads versus TikTok. So here's the deal. It took us probably a good 6-7 months to be very consistent, posting every single day on all social media platforms to get ourselves to this position. Well, you're probably asking why, why is it taking, that long of a time? Well, first of all, you got to create your database of followers, right? So only them primarily will see your content. Takes quite a bit of the time to get people to actually like your content genuinely and then decide to follow you, right? So with TikTok is entirely different. So TikTok is, it's like captive agency and family first life. With captive agency, it's like you got to work really hard and long to create your book of business, right? So whether it's PNC or life or whatever. So then you start making money, because my previous mentor used to say all the time, Ivan, you can't expect too much too soon. You gotta put in the time, and one day, just maybe, you're gonna make a lot of money. I'm like, okay, that's great. I want something sooner. That's why I switched. That's, same thing with TikTok. You don't have to wait to build that database, hire 2 employees to create all of that and spend a bunch of money to start generating this free leads. Well, not really free, but TikTok is truly free. Why? Because the quality, that the how many people will see a post will be determined by the quality of your content. And the quality of content, it's a little bit of everything. Go on YouTube and just put in, what's the best way to get to 100K followers on TikTok, and you will see that the longer people watch your video on TikTok, the more likely it's going to be shown to other people. If they watch it less than 3 seconds, they get and skip you, they're not going to show it to more people. So your post is going to die down and they're going to promote other posts. 5 seconds, better. 10 plus seconds, they're going to show it to millions of people. And I mean, I think it's easy to create this intrigue, this spark this curiosity. Just saying something, wait, and then just put like, wait till the end of the video, right? Something like that, and then keep people on the hook. And but I love it because you get access to everybody in the world right away if you just go right about creating the content. If you're creating good quality content, then that's the difference. You don't have to wait to, it's like joining Family First Life, getting access to leads and getting 10K in your bank account at the end of the week. Same exact thing. So, but I just wanted to emphasize that, guys. Let's, if your goal is to build a business, you're missing big, if you're not on TikTok.
100%. And we will definitely be making a push towards that, as you know. I guess at this point, out of respect for time, just open it up for a couple of questions if anybody has any, and then we'll let you get back to your day, because I know you have kind of back-to-back calls slated throughout the day. So anybody have any questions? Just unmute yourself. I see Kimber and Leah already unmuted. Go ahead, fire away.
Okay, so what I've noticed is that sometimes we have a lull between that first week of business and getting our commission in, and that creates a lull with leads. What would you say to somebody to encourage them to not get defeated by that lag time?
Lag time between, just to clarify, Kimber, lag time between you selling and getting a deposit.
Yeah, so I can buy more leads.
Sell more, so you can buy more leads. Clearly, you know, if you, I mean, like, obviously, if you're gonna write carrier like Aetna, which you absolutely should write them, best final expense product hands down. But you know, if you know, fine. My thing was this always: if I'm not writing America, I'm not writing. Would I write Transamerica if that's the only thing that fits the client and they have Social Security card and COPD? Yes, I will. I'm not counting that as my sale because it's not. I'm not getting money tomorrow. I'm that focused on writing America, so I can get my money within 36 to 48 hours. And if I'm not even excited. I'm keeping it moving. I'm gonna door knock. I'm gonna put up so much activity until I write at least one America policy so it gets issued. Simple as that. I hope that helps.
Absolutely.
Not
I
the
think
not the convenient answer. So I'm not gonna give you convenient answers, guys. I'm gonna shoot you straight and not everybody's gonna be satisfied by this answer. But I have to work harder. Yes, you do.
Yeah. Is there any way I know gold? Is that wait a me? I
That's
just
you.
like a new question. Is there any way that like gold or like investment qualities, like what type of like I know we have like 11 different 15 different suppliers from Family First Life, but like does gold play a part of it, or securing a deposit, or like with the insurance, can they like have that get paid in like gold, so coin or something? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I don't think I understood the question, to be
Okay.
honest with you.
I'm just wondering if like
Something happened with Nicole's connection, I guess. But we'll take one more question or a couple more questions.
I'm just kind of curious about the TikTok thing.
Yes.
Should logistically, should we put our team name like Family First Universe or just Family First Life on the hashtags and things like that?
I don't think it's about the hashtags, to be honest with you. And on TikTok, it's really not. So can you add 2-3 of them there? Yes, but it doesn't matter. I don't think you want to be utilizing that kind of hashtag on any social media just yet, because you're trying to get people from not knowing about Family First Life to knowing about Family First Life. Does that make sense? So you want to be a little bit more broad and creative with this, as something like financial freedom or top income or 1% earners or insurance and finance industry or something like that. Does that make sense? So it's gonna populate your post to a lot more people, because you're not gonna be starting out on any social media marketing your name, because it's more of a branding. When you're specifying the name and tagging that, it's more of a branding. And I don't think I don't think we're all in a position to like worry about spend money and time on branding yet. So it's all about I guess sparking someone's attention, which Family First Life probably not going to, because they don't know what Family First Life is. So, but
the thing is,
go ahead, Wayne.
I was going to say the thing with that is when he says the content, the first 5-10 seconds, if they decide to watch, they're going to message you directly. And then because they're essentially buying you or whatever message you put out there. So whatever you put up there, there's no need to kind of brand it, so to speak, or put all that extra effort into the hashtags. I mean, you can put a hashtag because people follow hashtags and they remember them, but definitely the people are going to message you. So it's really about being consistent and I mean, showing your personality, for lack of a better to put it, that we're just real people just helping people with insurance.
Yeah,
so
the thing is there's no need to recreate the wheel. There's zero reason we have to do that. If you just go to TikTok, type in Family First Life, find all the Family First Life pages and people that put hashtag Family First Life, see what they're doing. It'll give you some ideas. There's no reason to recreate the wheel. And by the way, speaking of TikTok, I think TikTok algorithm pushes the posts that pushes your post better to the top of the list if they look like previous TikTok somebody else recorded that had success. That's just how the algorithm works. So if you see video that's completely not related to insurance and just some funny video or whatever, and you see like millions of views on it, see something that what, and analyze it. Try to think, why did it draw so many people's attention? Like, is it the music? Is it the person? Is that what they said? And just try to copy it, structurally, meaning like same length of the video, similar background, like if they're dancing, you can dance too. I don't know. It's like, there's so much for creativity, but just look at them and see how you can just copy them. Liam, does that make sense?
It does. Thank you. Thank you, Wayne.
Of course. Wait, am I muted? Oh, of course. Anybody else have any questions? We'll do one last question, then let Ivan get back to his day.
All right, I think we
Nobody?
good.
Okay, perfect. All right, Ivan, any parting shots, anything that they can take to the field and implement immediately, or just be aware of, that'll kind of transition their business immediately over the next couple dial sessions, next week or so?
Yeah, leave your personal problems at home. Don't bring them with you to the office. Don't bring them with you, because it doesn't really matter. Like, that's why I don't even dial from home. Don't dial from home. Don't bring your personal problems in the trunk. I've heard that from, I think, Brian Mendenhall. He used to say, just put all your problems in the trunk. Put all your problems in the trunk. I don't think so. Don't even bring them in the car with you. Leave them home. Just show up to the office. Because if you think about it, some of our problems are because of finances, right? Because if you throw the money into 99% of the problems you have, they're gonna go away. So, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here, is to solve those. But if you bring your personal problems into this, that's partially financial problems, then you're not gonna be. It's just not gonna help. Focus on what's gonna get you out of the situation where you're at. Once you're there, throw the money into 99% of the problems, they'll go away, and worry about that 1% and enjoy life. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope we helped the test a little bit here. So I appreciate y'all.
Sure. No, I appreciate your time and setting this up, and honestly being a kind of a team player and allowing us to interview you today, understanding the technical difficulties. Real quick, there was a question in the chat in regards to
How many leads per week
leads.
at part-time? Well, it depends, Andre. Part-time is different. I know that part-time, well, Eric Schmidt used to be a part-timer. He worked 45 hours part-time. So, because he sold cars full-time, and it was another 50 hours. So, but how many leads per week? You can't really go wrong with this. If you're thinking you only have 20 hours to run a week, Andre, and two run days and one dial day, and you're gonna think like, I'm afraid I'm gonna waste money. You're not going to. Try to get 100 leads for the dial session and see if you can book 15 appointments. If you can, keep booking and double booking. You're gonna make more money. If you can't hit 15, only 12, that's fine too.
Tomorrow there's
So, but I mean, there's no such thing as too many leads. I'd say full-time or part-time, get 100 per dial session. If you're full-time, you're gonna have 2 dial sessions. You're gonna need 200. If you're part-time, get 100 leads for 1 dial session. That should do it.